afternoon. What is it? Which one? Is it good morning? Good afternoon. But listen, I just came to do this quick message for you all. I was thinking about something, and I think it's a message that you all need to hear. Some of you all need to hear, especially the ones on YouTube. The ones who God called to YouTube to come on here and speak truth and talk about um, their life experiences, share what they have overcome, share the things that they've experienced, the things that they've gone through. Um, this is specifically for you all, right? This is for those who are on YouTube who really don't want to be on YouTube, because I really don't want to be on here. To be honest, I don't want to be on here giving messages. I don't want to be on here talking. I don't want to be over here putting people in my business. I don't want to do it. But out of obedience and the urge and the desire to come, that's why I'm here. To be honest, half of the people here who are chosen, who are sent, they don't want to be here. We would rather live our lives, drink our water, um, explore life, experience life, and have fun, right? We would rather do that. But unfortunately, and fortunately, because it's a purpose behind everything, we are sent to YouTube. But this message is for the ones who have experienced so much pain and that have just been, been used and abused. Okay, this message is for those ones, right? Your enemies, they have to pay to watch you, right? So a lot of you all are on YouTube and you're monetized on YouTube, right? You are creating a channel, you got content, right? They got to pay to watch you. They got to sit there and listen to what you're saying, right? Because they're thinking you're talking about them, and you probably are. You probably are saying some things about them or what you've experienced, but they got to pay to watch you. They got to sit there and listen to you while your video is playing, while you're being, while you're monetized and while commercials are playing, while they get your views up, while they like you, like your, I ain't gonna say like, because they'll never like what they're watching. They got to pay to watch you. The strategy that God used, your enemies got to pay to watch you now. They lost access to you, so they got to come on YouTube and listen in to see what you're talking about and giving you an income. He'll use your enemies to bless you. That's a blessing. Your enemies are being used to bless you because they're so nosy and they want to know what it is that you're talking about. They want to know what it is that you probably would say about them or the experience, or no, you're not even worried about that. You're not worried about that, right? You're not worried about that. You're just sharing your story, right? You're just being you, being who you always been, You're just being yourself. Take these glasses off. I really can't see. You're just being yourself, right? He will use them to bless you. This is why we can't always see. That's why I talk about healing, right? I talk about healing because God will show you things through your enemies. He will show you who you are through your enemies, through the people who don't like you, through the people who hate you, through the people who are trying to bring you down, through the people who are slandering you, through the people who are lying on you. He will use them to tell you who you are. But if you're not healed and if you're too prideful to listen to what the enemy is saying, you won't even know who you are. You won't even get the revelation that God is trying to show you. He will use your enemies because your enemies will speak the truth as far as who you are. Although they will lie on you, they will tell you who you are. They will show you how powerful you are. Right? They will show you how powerful you are. Sometimes you can't be in your head. You can't be all in your emotions in your head. You got to listen spiritually. Because what the enemy will do, right? The enemy, right? Your enemy will tell you how powerful you are. by telling you what you are not. I did a message like this years ago, similar. The enemy will tell you what you are not because that is exactly who you are. But see, you can't hear it if you're so caught up in your head and your emotions, because they're showing you and they're telling you how powerful you are. They're telling you how great you are. They're telling you how creative you are. That's what they're telling you. But you can't be so prideful. And you can't just ignore everything they're saying. When they say you think you all that, when they say you think you better than me, when they start saying that, it's because you are all of that. You are better than them. You got to not take this stuff, what they're saying, personal. Don't take it personal. Just listen. You never gave up. You never said you were better. No, because they know you are. You think you something. When people come with this type of energy, they're telling you that you are something. Them family members who tell you, oh, she thinks she better than us. You never once said you was better than them, but they saying it because you are. It's facts. It's facts. You got to listen. Take yourself up out of that pain and listen so you can be elevated by the enemy. That's why they got to watch and pay. They got to pay to watch you. They got to come on YouTube and pay and look at your videos so your views can go up. And so, and so them commercials can play on that video so they could, so you can continue to be monetized. And you are not saying, I'm not speaking this out of, pride. There is no ill intent in my heart talking about this truth that you all need to hear. The sun is bright, so I can't really see comments. This is truth. You got to just be humble. They'll tell you who you are. When you got people just out of nowhere tell you, she thinks she's better than people. She thinks she's all that. Not once did you say that. You don't even have the heart to look down on people. That's not even in your MO. That's not your MO. That's not your character. But the enemy will tell you, you just got to listen. You think you smarter than somebody. You think you intelligent. You think you're not humble enough. All this unnecessary chatter, what people bring on you and that you didn't ask for, you got to believe there's truth in that. There's some truth in that. You think you rich. I am. You living like you wealthy. I am. That part right there, I am. The two most powerful words you can say is I am. We gotta get out of ourselves. We got to get up out of ourselves. We got to get up out of our heads and our emotions and our brokenness. I'm so glad I healed. I'm so glad I'm doing the work on myself, because there was a time that I let people project their pain and their foolishness onto me, their low vibrational energy, their demons. I let people project it onto me. Because as a person who's sensitive and anointed in their spirit, we carry stuff. We carry everybody's weight. We can feel energies. We can feel when people don't like us. We can feel when they're a hater. We can feel when they're jealous. Not that you're looking for it. You just can feel it. You know when the person don't like you. You know when they don't care for you. You know when they're being fake. I know I can. But we be so afraid because we don't want to call that foolishness out. We don't want to deal with it because it's too much. It takes too much out of us to deal with it. We just ignore it or brush it off and still, they going through something. Make excuses. I'm so glad I don't make excuses no more for folks. I should have been did that. I should have been stopped making excuses for people. Life is so much better, so much fulfilling. I could be myself. So much fulfilling. I don't have to hide who I am. I don't have to hide my gifts now. I don't have to dumb myself down. I don't have to dim my light. I don't have to pretend not to be so bright and vibrant and different and awkward and weird. I embrace all of that now because I know who I am. I did the work. It's freeing to be able to walk and be your normal, awkward, nerdy, goofy, anointed, whatever you is, it feels good to be that. I'm not saying things. I'm not saying you're gonna be stuff that God didn't approve of. I'm not talking about that. That's not the channel for us over here. We don't get into that energy. If you doing anything opposite of what God says, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the ones who are just walking in pure confidence, and you don't dealt with your demons. You don't, you've gotten up out of all your confusion, right? You're out of all your confusion, and you're just being you. People hate when you be you. People hate when you can be your normal, joyful, authentic self. They want you to be someone else. They want you to talk different. They want you to change your voice. They want you to try to adjust and be like water to adjust to whatever scenery. They want you to be a chameleon. They don't want you to be authentic. They don't want you to come on YouTube with your bags and stuff, okay? With no makeup, no nothing. They don't want you to be you. But when you can step into being yourself and not worried about what people are saying, not worried about what they're going to think, it's freeing. And that's how we should be living. We should be living in freedom. We shouldn't be living afraid to be ourselves, afraid of what people are going to think, afraid of being excellent, afraid of, being creative, afraid, just walking around afraid and insecure. We shouldn't be living like that. That's why y'all stressed out. I lived like that for a while. I did. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sugarcoat nothing and come on here like I'm all this and that. I've lived below my means. Below, not my means, below who God had created me to be. I lived like that, afraid to be bright, afraid to just be bubbly and be myself and just be loving and, just share my light with the world. I lived in defeat. I did. Because I was afraid that people wouldn't like that. They don't have to like it. I don't care. I don't live for folks now. I don't care. I'm going to be me. Okay? I am me. I'm free. I want y'all to be free too. I want you all to be free. We should be living in pure freedom. We shouldn't have to pretend to be no one we're not. Let me see my daughter. I was waiting on my baby. Ending to be no one you're not. And you can be free, regardless of what's going on in the world. You can be free in your mind. You can be locked up and still be free. You can be locked up and still be free in your mind. You have the power to be free in your mind. That's how powerful the mind is. But they got to pay to watch you. They got to pay. They have to pay to watch you. And I really can't see all of the and some of the comments. I see some, the sun is bright, so I can't really see some of the comments, but I see some foolishness in there. But you can't, and that's another thing, you can't worry about what people say. You can't worry about what they're doing. You have to make sure you're free in your mind, because people don't want to be free. People don't want to be free in their mind, which means when you're free, right, you're free to be who you are in God. I'm not talking about whatever someone else is talking about. I'm not talking about what they are talking about. I'm not talking about their freedom and materialism and accumulating stuff and all this, what is that called? That superficial freedom. I'm talking about just being free in yourself, being free in your spirit, being free in who you are. That's the freedom I'm talking about. I'm not talking about all this other stuff. When you're free, when you can be yourself. That has nothing to do with money. It has nothing to do with wealth. It has nothing to do with where you live, what school you go to, what part of the organization you part of, what job you work. It has nothing to do with that. When you're free to be yourself, you are free. When you're free to be who you are free. Because you're not pretending to be anyone else. That's freedom. That's freedom. That's freedom. You don't have to pretend. You know how you have people, they pretend when certain people come around, they change their voice. Or when certain people come around, they pretend to be, this other person. It's like, it takes too much energy to be changing into all these characters. That's not freedom. When your in-laws come around, you're trying to pretend and keep up this face for your in-laws. When these people come around, when you're around your church family, you're religious around your church family, but when you're not around them, you're not, you got that behavior modification around the church folks. No, you should be who you are with them and without them. You should be the same person in church and out of church, around your family, at the job. You should be the same person. No, you can't behave the same way, right? You can't do certain things the same way, but you should be yourself. You should be yourself. Hey, Barbara, exactly. You should be yourself, and that's freeing. You shouldn't have to, and that's what I think happens in a lot of relationships, friendships, especially I see this with a lot of young women. You got all these superficial people that's pretending to be this and that on the outside, and that's just the facade. Everybody's just trying to be somebody else. Everybody got the same hair. They got the same weave. They got the same makeup. Everybody looking the same. They got the same outfits. They got the same. There's no uniqueness amongst people. They dress the same, look the same, talk the same. What's unique about you? That's when you're free, when you can be unique. Like, you look everywhere. It's almost like you're seeing triples and doubles of people. Everybody got the same makeup. I'm like, didn't I just saw you a few minutes ago. No, everybody the same makeup. Same hair. Same everything. Everything. So, that's what I wanted to come talk to you all about. They got to watch you. They got to pay to watch you. And, because they're so nosy and curious, and they want to keep tabs on you, so they got to come and give you some watch hours. Hello, beautiful.
Hello.
What's up? What's going on? You want to drive me to BJ's?
Sure.
Because I have to go pick up some eggs and milk and baking soda.
Okay.
Yep. So you all got to go. My baby's here. It was nice chatting with y'all, but they got to pay to watch you. They got to pay. They got to come on here on YouTube and get your watch hours up and get your time and all that up. Get you some monetization. So y'all be blessed.